The boy just accidentally spilled the experimental potion. His hands then possessed thousands of degrees of heat. He picked up a steak and cooked it right through. He touched an egg and it was instantly cooked. Even iron clips melted instantly. That day, the boy was drawing a birthday card for his father. Suddenly there was a loud bang and his father came out of the smoky lab. From the look on his face, it was easy to tell that the experiment had failed again. Dad put the unsuccessful experimental potion on the shelf as usual. Then he returned to the lab with a downcast look on his face. He didn't notice the boy's birthday card. Dad's indifference didn't discourage the boy. He decided to give his father a bigger surprise. He decided to organize a birthday party for his father. Soon the boy had written a banner for the party. But when he jumped up to hang the banner, he accidentally bumped into the experimental potion that his father had just put on it. At first, the boy didn't care. But when he picked up the banner burst into flames. The boy was so scared that he fell to the floor. When he got up slowly, holding onto the tabletop, the table was burned with 2 handprints. Then he realized that it was his hands that were the problem. He tried to cool them down with ice, but the ice melted in his hands. He put his hands in the sink, but the water in the pool had all been vaporized. What's going on here? He couldn't take care of that. He had to make a cake for his dad. He quickly took out the butter and threw it into the blender before it melted. Then it was time for the eggs. He picked up the egg and cracked it, and it turned into 2 hard-boiled halves. What should he do? The boy had a bright idea. He got a straw and a clip. He succeeded in sucking the yolks and whites into the blender. The next step was to put in the sugar. But when the boy tried to get the sugar with the tongs were softened by the heat of his hands. Then the boy thought of cloth gloves. So he poured the sugar with his gloves. But the gloves soon gave out. Now all that was left was the final step of pouring the flour. The boy had the bright idea to burn a hole in the bag with his finger. When he had the required amount of flour, he closed the door. When everything was ready, the boy started the mixer. Finally, he poured the ingredients into the baking pan and covered the oven. As the boy waited excitedly for the cake to come out of the oven, Dad came out of the lab. He looked at the kitchen, the empty flasks and the burnt gloves. He seemed to understand everything. The boy felt uneasy, but he timidly brought out the baked cake, because he wanted to keep the party going. But when he picked up the candles, they all melted without exception. When his father saw this, he helped the boy pick up the candles, and showed him how to use the heat of his fingers to light the candles. Once the candle was lit, the father stuck it in the center of the cake. In this way, father and son spent a meaningful birthday and a warm look at each other.